So, today I want to talk about how being an old soul sucks. I've been told most of my life, actually, my entire life, that I come off older than I actually am. For example, I was, okay, like probably 2 or 3 years old when my mom and my dad and like my family took us on some train around the DC area, and I think on this train you had to be like below the age of 3 or something below the age of 3 or 4 to ride for free, right? And my parents told me the story, and it's like I was basically going around to my older sisters who were like 12 and 13 at the time and being like, "Well, hello, how is your day going? Da 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 da. My day is going very well. This is a wonderful train that we're on." At like the age of like at some age that I wasn't supposed to be talking so eloquently, basically. And I was talking to the train conductor too, and the train conductor didn't believe that, or not the conductor, but like the person that was like taking tickets didn't believe that I was young because of how eloquently I was speaking. So my parents had to pay for a ticket that day for me, and they didn't have proof of my age. Like they started having to carry my birth certificate around, or wanted to start carrying it around just to prove that I was actually like young, a young person. And then I remember most of my teachers in elementary school, in some way, like I had this one third grade teacher. I loved her to death, but she set me off with a bunch of her old shoes. She's like, "You'll grow into them, girl." And she would have me like take her keys and go to her car in the parking lot to like get stuff from her car. Like I have been low key parentified for a minute now. And then in middle school, yeah, it was in middle school. I was like going to middle school in this like college town in Wisconsin because my mom got a job there, whatever, right? And they would tell me, and like there, I think I went to a nail salon or something, and at this time, I think I was driving. I don't know. For whatever reason, I found myself in a nail salon alone, and the nail tech was like, "Oh, you must go to the university." And I was like in seventh grade at the time. I'm pretty sure, like seventh grade. And I say all this to say, and then even now, like I work a job that is actually like probably supposed to be for an older person, and I hang around older people all the time, and just older married people. So like I say being an old soul sucks because I feel like I was robbed of the chance of becoming close with the people in my age range. And I feel like I suck at connecting with people in my age range. But older people love me. Older people love me, and like I mean, this one woman at my job currently thought I was in my 30s, and it wasn't because of how I look, because I feel like I look, you know, I don't know. I look good. I feel like I look good. I don't know. And I'm not wearing my rings today, so I feel a little naked. But I do feel like sometimes it's very difficult for me to connect with people my age. And I feel like being an old soul, and I feel like it's a trauma response. And I feel like I remember a lot of and like my parents didn't do this purposely, but I remember thinking, like in sixth grade, I need to go to a good middle school so I could go to a good high school and then get enough AP classes and get a high enough test score so that I can go to college for free without a scholarship, or for free with a scholarship. And yeah, I accomplished these things. I graduated debt free from college, right? And I find myself like in a job that's pretty cozy, pretty calm, but I still feel so socially inept. Even though I talk like this and act like this, I am not someone that has many friends, at least many friends my age. And I also blame this on the fact that I was raised with two older sisters that were 10 years older than me. So in my brain, I needed to catch up to them, you know? I needed to be the person that, excuse me, I needed to be the person that was able to keep up with my older sisters because they were my older sisters. And I would caretake my younger brother for a little while, you know, until like he became a boy and like I don't know, being a boy is a whole other thing, you know? But here I was constantly trying to reach after my older sisters, and they were both 9 and 10 years older than me. So I do think I do better in the age range that is like 10 years older than me, which sucks, you know? And I think this old soul idea, it's cool when we're like talking about just like the demeanor of a person, but when it comes to the actual application of just someone living with this demeanor, like I worked so hard to build this mental health support group Discord this past year, and it's like, and I left the Discord. There's like over 50 people in it, and I left it because I was feeling so unsatisfied and so malnourished by the topics and the events that were going on within the Discord. Here I was trying to start a thought club with a reading thing, and like there's going to be reading sessions every month. No one cared about that. They just wanted to go to parties. They would just drop party invites. And I feel like even people that were like 5, 6 years older than me, I could not connect with because I felt like they were just still like something that I'm so disturbed by these days is that people my age and like I feel like people honestly like below the age of 30, I don't know. I think it's a sickness in all age ranges, but this idea that romantic relationships are the priority in life and like romantic relationships are the things that will keep us like happy or whatever. I feel like it is a capitalist incent, like it's something that keeps us siloed. It's something that keeps us like in these little very isolated pieces of groups, you know, like couples and families, and like we remain isolated because we don't take our friendship seriously. And like the only time you can really take your friendship seriously is if there's some sort of financial or capitalist incentive to take the friendship seriously. So, you know, friends in the workplace, friends that are built around the same similar work, friends that even like friends that are in the same hobby, like you have to really be into that hobby so much so that some company is winning, you know? Like I even think about a running club. You know, like to be I went to this place called Axelrad 2 nights ago. And they had this running club that was meeting up in the evening. And like even if the running club was free, which I doubt it was, um they still had to invest hundreds of dollars in the gear that they wore in order to be there at that moment, you know? Like friends don't really come from a place of like commonality anymore other than there being some sort of capitalist incentive. And another version of friendship is friendship based on I mean location, proximity, community, whatever, but most importantly, your children. There are plenty of people who have friends just because their kids are around the same age and are friends. And I think that sucks. I think it sucks that a lot of the times the only time we make friends is when there is some sort of financial incentive involved. Like, and I think, you know, I don't know, my mom I think does a better job at keeping like friends from like high school or when she was younger, but I think things were different when they all first met, and it's different for the older people to become friends. Cuz for me, I have to fight past social media posts to like get someone's attention long enough to talk to me in person for like 20, 30 minutes. Like people would rather be sucked in on their phone and sucked in on their very specific algorithm, excuse that, sucked in on their very specific algorithm, than actually try to build a relationship with people in their real life. And I think being an old soul leaves me to feel only really connected with people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s because they aren't as content brained as the rest of us, as the like the younger people. Now let me tell you, I feel like people, I said 30s, 40s, and 50s, I feel like people in their 60s that are stuck on Facebook that have been just sucked into that world and sucked into social media and sucked into the news cycle, the 24-hour news cycle, yeah, those are lost causes. And maybe I only say this because like the few people that I know that are in their 60s or above, older than 60s, are don't take mental health seriously, and I bet you they have a few diagnoses on that they don't want to like take care of, and they'd much rather be on their social media looking, honestly, being infantilized, and but also like just consuming other people's stuff as if humans are entertainment. You know, like I feel like the boomer generation sees like we're still in the days where what's it called? Like human trafficking is now like on social media. Like there's children that have to show their faces without their consent and make money for their parents by, you know, being embarrassed online or whatever. Whatever. And like old people are perfectly fine with watching children and watching people be in these very embarrassing or like highly emotionally evocative moments in their life because it's entertainment for them, you know? Like, I don't know. I just think it's very stressful trying to navigate the world as a 25-year-old old soul. Being an old soul sucks. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow if I decide to record then. Bye!